It is finally time to share my final gear list. So I'm going to hit the trail with a Granite Gear Crown 60 VC. That's a ladies pack, and I will be wearing Saucony Peregrine 6 shoes. They're a model that's a couple years old, and unfortunately I can't find anymore, so I've got 2 pairs. When I wear out one, I'll have the other sent. My trekking poles are Cascade Mountain Tech. I've been using those for the past 100 plus miles through Georgia, and I've really enjoyed them. Got some duct tape wrapped around those, so that's easy to access when I need it. And I've got a pack cover. I'm also taking camp shoes. Those are from Amazon. They're water shoes, but they can be worn as clogs. So if I need to get up in the middle of the night, I can slip them on real quick. And they've also got enough of a sole that I can use them for river crossings if need be. I carry a bandana and a pea rag, as well as a ball cap to keep the sun off my face in the rain as well. I have a knee brace and a couple of straps because I do get some pain, especially when I'm doing lots of rocky downhills. My food bag is an Osprey dry bag, and I've added a little bit of reflective tape on that so I can find it in the dark. I use Dyneema cord to hang my bear bag, and I have a little bag from REI that actually came with the pack towel, and I use that just to keep it down in the bottom of my food bag so it's easy to find when it's time to hang at night. I also have a little bit of Dr. Bronner's and Pine Sol for kitchen cleanup and sanitation. And then my cook set. I went with the Health Grades pot. It is 800 milliliters, and I've made a little cozy for it. It does have the fold-out handles, which are silicone covered. I know that adds a little bit of weight, but I like it for the insulation, so I don't have to worry about finding my bandana. Fuel canister, a plastic bag for trash, and then I also have a homemade cooking pouch for freezer bag cooking. All of that goes in my little cook bag, which also has some reflective tape on it. And I am taking 2 spoons. This one I find very handy for cooking and scraping my pot, and then this one is good for just for eating. It feels better, even though it's a little heavier than a regular titanium spoon. I think that the bowl of it is probably stainless, while the rest is titanium. I like this just for eating with, so I know I'm adding about 10 or 12 grams that I could live without, but just some of those little luxury things make me much more comfortable. In my mug, which again, a lot of people would go without a mug, but I prefer to have one for coffee so that I can eat and drink at the same time. I have a couple of emergency fire. These are good for, especially if it's kind of damp, to make a campfire if I need to. I've got my little Covea Ultralight stove. This has been working pretty well for me. It's very lightweight, and I carry a lighter in here as well. The final item in my kitchen setup is just a little handy wipe for washing up. My water filtration system and drinking includes 2 Life Water bottles. These I find are a little bit more sturdy than the Smart Water. Either one will do, but I am using my Smart Water flip top that I've hacked to be able to put the hose in it so I can drink on the go and not have to worry about getting those out of my pockets on my pack. This works out really well. This is just tubing I got from the hardware store with a replacement of a pipe valve there. For filtration, I use the Sawyer and the Canuck bags, and this will hold 2 liters of water. So if it gets real dry and I'm short on water, I can actually carry 4 liters if I need to. Most of the time I'll probably have 1.5 liters to 2 liters with me. I carry a little camp towel. This is just from REI, good for kind of wiping down dampness on the tent in the morning, washing up at night, anything I need it for, as well as an emergency blanket, my little wallet, some TP, which I need to put in a bag, and then I've also got a trowel and some TP, and I carry this actually in the brain of my pack so it's easily accessible. Also carried in the brain of my pack because I might be hiking when it gets dark, my Petzl Tika headlamp. I carry an emergency ID bracelet that my husband gave me for Christmas, as well as just a basic Casio watch. This does have a barometer and altimeter on it. Some things that I showed you in my last video, the little items, so I won't go through all these in detail, but this is my little tent jar that's easy to just toss in my tent when I'm setting up, and it's got things I need for the night. First aid items, toiletry items, which all go into this lock sack, the small bag, which is odor proof, and that goes into my food bag at night. I've also got a larger lock sack that I use to store my food in, so all of that goes up at night. As far as electronics, I showed you these as well. I've got my Anchor charger, my iClever little wall charger, and the other items for taking videos. I have a half buff that will double or replace the balaclava that I bought. I think I can just get by with that when it's cold, as well as my little smart wool beanie set of mittens that I actually replaced. I had some outdoor research gloves that I use at night, but I found I was constantly taking them off to check the time or look for my glasses. So I'm going to use these that flip open. They're about the same weight. And then my mother made me some rain gloves, and these are all seam sealed on the inside, waterproof. So these are great rain mittens, actually, that I'll be able to wear over the top when I'm hiking. For socks, I'll be wearing one pair and carrying one pair of smart wool ankle socks, the Injinji toe socks, which this combo has worked out very, very well for me. The only time I got blisters hiking through Georgia was when I was trying out some new shoes, some Merrells that just didn't work out. I have this little bag that is actually a sling pack that I can use for slack packing if I want to, but it will also serve as my clothes bag in my tent just to keep everything together in one place when I get into camp at night. For warmer weather and also for base layer, I have a Patagonia tank and some shorts. I have actually ditched my down skirt that I love just because of weight, but I can also put these shorts on over my hiking leggings if it's cold, if I'm cold around the hips, that sort of thing. So I think these will be good multi-purpose items. I also switched out my Royal Robbins shirt that I liked for this smart wool. It has a higher wool content, and I can also wear it if necessary as a base layer in place of the Capilene, the Patagonia Capilene that I was going to take. So I've got one shirt that will do double duty, some lightweight long underwear pants to sleep in, and then of course my sleep socks. Somebody told me those are called vampire socks because they never see the light of day, which I thought was kind of funny, but those are my socks, which I just absolutely adore. They're a little bigger than hiking socks, and they're so warm and cozy. I have my journal. I added a highlighter just because I want to be able to mark up the pieces of the AWOL guide that I'm taking. I do also have the AWOL guide electronically, so if I lose that or if it gets ruined, it's not the end of the world. I can just pull it up on my phone. I carry the Z-Seat, which makes a great doormat for my tent, great for lunch to sit on the ground, and just great all-around piece of gear. I know that's almost everybody's favorite piece. My Nemo Hornet tent with the stakes. I switched out stakes from Lawson Equipment. They're little titanium stakes. I also made my polycryo ground cloth, and I had some extra polycryo, so I made a little screen that goes over the end of the tent so that it will block any rain on super windy nights. My sleep system, the base of it is my Climate, and this is the Climate Static V Ultralight insulated pad. It's a 4.4 R value, and it's wider than the average pad. It's 23 inches wide, so great for me as a side sleeper. I have the Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner. This is I believe it's called the Traveler version that's got stretch panels on the side. It's not mummy. I'm not sure where they are, but there they are. It's got these polyester stretch panels. The rest of it is ripstop silk. And unfortunately, the one that I made out of this fabric, which is from a silk sari, got destroyed by my sleeping bag when I was backpacking before I got my quilt. So I had to toss that and replace it with the Sea to Summit, which I think will be a little bit more durable. Now, this is a pillowcase out of that fabric, which I like a lot because the pillow that I'm taking, this is the, I have the Ultralight and the lightweight, I believe. I'll put a list up and you can see the actual, both of these are Cocoon pillows. This one is larger. It's 6 ounces, and I could live without it, but it will make me much happier and much more comfortable at night. So it's going as part of my sleep system. I typically cuddle with a pillow or put one between my knees, so I will be using that instead of just a clothes bag. And then this pillow will go under my head, and the pillowcase, which only weighs a couple grams, will actually keep it from sliding. And then I'm very excited that I got my quilt from Underground Quilts. They did a great job. It's a 20-degree quilt, and I had them add an ounce of down in the top portion as well as in the foot box, and it does open up flat. I got the version that doesn't have, it's not sewn, so I can lay it out flat. It has this nice softer, lighter weight fabric on the inside and then the heavy ripstop on the outside, and I've got extra clips so that I can wrap this around me on cold nights, and of course the drawstring around the neck so I can snuggle up. So I am really, really thrilled with this. Have not taken it on the trail, but I am banking on the fact that it's going to be warmer than the sleeping bag that I had, and I really can't wait to get it out there and start using it. Now, one item I missed on hiking clothes, I do carry 2 pairs of ex officio underwear as well as a sports bra. I carry 2 pairs because I can wash one out and have a clean one the next day. And that's the same reason I carry the 2 pairs of socks, so that I can wash one out. As far as outerwear, I switched out my Marmot precip jacket for the outdoor research helium, which is a different style. It doesn't have the Velcro on the wrists, and I suspect I may get a little bit more water in there, but with the rain gloves I think I'll be okay. It doesn't have any pockets, but it's about, I think, 4 ounces lighter than the other one, and overall I like it, so I'm going to be using that instead of the Marmot. I do have my Patagonia Alpine Houdini rain pants, which I am falling more and more in love with each time I use them. They're great as wind pants, and they are just wonderful all-around rain pants. They keep me dry. I've been in some really heavy rain and soggy days, and they've done great, so I'm very, very happy with those. I have my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer, and if you may recall from prior videos, I had to give this up for, I think, about 6 weeks because it got damaged when I was at my wilderness first aid class on the back, and I sent it off to Mountain Hardwear. They were very good about repairing it for me, and you really cannot even tell. This area here was ripped open and there was down coming out, and if you look real close you can see the patch, but they did a marvelous job of fixing it for me and getting it back to me in time for my thru-hike, so many, many thanks to Mountain Hardwear for that. A new fleece that my dog likes. I went up a size. I had a medium Columbia lightweight fleece that it was pretty comfortable, but it was kind of tight on me, especially with multiple layers. So I have this, and should I happen to get soaking wet in my smart wool shirt, if I'm wearing that as a hiking layer, then I will have this to put on at night along with the puffy to keep me warm. So I'll always have something that's dry at night. And then my typical hiking outfit will be my Columbia leggings. These are hiking leggings, and then I've also got my Walmart Danskin top. It's got a hood on it, and I find that when I'm hiking during the daytime and it's windy, this thing is amazing at keeping the wind off me.
So there you have it. That is all my gear, and I know it looks like a lot all spread out, but it fits in my pack really nicely, and I'm feeling very good about it. I've had plenty of chances to test it out on the trail, everything except the quilt, which I'm sure is going to be fine. So that I've got the kinks worked out for the most part. You know, things may change after I'm on the trail for a couple of weeks, but I'm feeling pretty good about what I have to start, so I'm ready to go. I'm going to do one more video for you that just recaps my hiking through Georgia, and then after that you will see me on the trail full time. So stay tuned and happy hiking.